Nowadays, as more and more of our lives involve something online, some sort of membership or website we need to register for, or online shopping, online banking, there's so many different accounts, and each one needs its own password, and they need to be secure. And pretty soon we've got too many passwords to remember. So what do? Well, first of all, passwords are important. We can't just blow it off and decide that we're going to use the same password for everything. We all know that passwords protect us. We all know we need to use different passwords for different sites and different logins for extra security. We all know that 1234 is a bad password. But a lot of people still use something like that. We all probably know that a really good password is hard to remember, because that's how we end up using 1234 and equally insecure passwords. So let's start out looking at what makes a good password and how we can make it memorable. A strong password length is number one. The longer it is, the harder it is to crack, period. A lot of sites require a minimum of 6 characters, more require 8. Some are starting to now require that you use a combination of capitals, lowercase, and numbers. You should shoot for 12 or more letters. Never use a word that can be found in a dictionary, even for half your password. If it's in a dictionary, that whatever part of your password that is very easy for a computer to guess in a short amount of time. And the whole idea of using a longer password and making it random is making possible combinations many more. So even with a simple misspelling, computers, the people that are cracking passwords are smart enough to write an algorithm to account for minor misspellings. It really needs to be something nonsensical. Some kind of a mixture that includes capital and lowercase letters, numbers, and punctuation marks of different kinds is the best password. So here is a variation of the awful 1234, and you see it's sort of a phonetic spelling, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put commas in there as punctuation. I've added a couple of letters in place of a couple of E's. So that's an example. It's not something I suggest that you start using, but it's an example of how you can be creative and make a secure password. Now, memorable. Well, that last password also kind of fit that category. It's memorable. Another way to go is if you have a favorite quote or a line from a song that's easy to remember because it means something to you, you can turn it into a password. Take the first letter of each word in the quote, string those out. Then capitalize some of them, add some punctuations, and then either add or substitute some of the letters for numbers. But don't go crazy on the numbers. For example, you can use a number 3 in place of an E. You could use a 4 in place of the word for, or in place of the letter Y. A 5 could be an S. Those are some possibilities. And you don't need to add a lot of numbers. 1 or 2 is 2 in a 12-digit password is plenty. Remember, there's more letters in the alphabet than there are numbers from 0s to 9, so it makes the password harder to guess with more letters. So this last line here is a password, 17 letters long, that will be very easy for me to remember because it's a quote from a poem that I memorized when I was a kid. But anybody else looking at it is not going to make any sense. We all need many passwords. So making one good, strong password you can remember is great, but it doesn't solve the problem of needing a password for every different site and registration that you do. So how are you supposed to remember a big long secure password like that for every membership and account you have. You can't. The solution is a password manager. Then you only need to remember one good password, which is the one that locks up your password manager. And then the password manager creates other passwords for you, stores them securely, encrypted, and makes them available to you when you need them. So there's different password managers out there, different features, different prices. Some of them store the passwords only on your computer, which is very secure, but it's not necessarily the most convenient. Some store them online so you can get to them from anywhere. Some people have concern that if it's stored online that it might be more vulnerable. So which password manager should you use? I can't tell you in this video because I don't know what your needs are. You need to choose a password manager that matches your usage and security needs. If you hardly ever use the internet, or you only have one or two accounts, you only use your own computer to do it, and you never use your phone or go to somebody else's computer, you don't make many purchases or none online, you're really minimal needs and not going to need much of a password manager. The browser is probably going to store it, take care of it for you. But if you're like me and you do a lot of stuff online, you're going to want a good password manager that'll store a lot of passwords. So I suggest that you contact me through my website, shown here, pcaha.com, and we can discuss your needs, and then I can recommend a choice or two for you. Thanks.